called Control Bionics that's reading the electrical signals inside your muscles to help control devices. From Australia, Peter Ford.
Your Royal Highness, fellow humans, imagine not being able to move or speak to your fellow humans. My name is Peter Ford. I'm the founder of Control Bionics, an Australian company based in Sydney. In 1981, I was a computer programmer on a US government research and development team whose mission was to enable severely disabled veterans to communicate again using computers. I was also learning about Professor Stephen Hawking, that massive intellect trapped in a body that was no longer working. I thought, if you could take the neuroelectric signals downstream from a brain and patch those into a computer, you could restore communication. But the technology to enable that did not emerge for several years. The Shori EMG clinical monitor began to be used around the world by doctors to diagnose and treat muscular disabilities using those neuroelectric signals. I wrote a program to analyze those signals and recognize the specific pattern generated inside a muscle the instant the brain told it to fire, even if the muscle did not respond. With a professor in the United States, we trialed it with patients until we knew it worked. I emailed Dr. Hawking. We met in Cambridge. We attached the neuroswitch. It worked. I was elated. He was not. In his robotic voice, he announced, "Your software is no good." I was disappointed. I went back to Sydney, coded, recoded, checked, recoded again, emailed him again. We met again, and this time, within 30 seconds of connecting NeuroSwitch, he used it to control that robotic voice to say, "I am always being mistaken for Stephen Hawking," which he thought was hilarious. For the next 5 years, I visited Cambridge for him to beta test each new generation of NeuroSwitch. He was the toughest teacher to take your homework to. But our team was beginning to change the lives of people who needed it. A merchant banker who could no longer move or speak, who used NeuroSwitch to go online with his teenage daughter to buy a prom dress for her first school dance. A US Marine veteran who could no longer move or speak, who used NeuroSwitch to write a love note to his wife every morning before she woke up. Last July, we created the next breakthrough in this technology. NeuroNode is wearable, has everything on board, the computer, the EMG monitor, and wireless to control your phone, your computer, your iPad. Last month, our CEO, Rob Wong, put this on the arm of a 7-year-old girl who could no longer move or speak, and within minutes she learned to control the voice on her iPad, the robotic voice, to say out loud, "I would like a baby sister and a puppy." We are looking for investment to enable everybody to put this on, switch it on, and with renewed independence and dignity, say out loud, "I am here, and I matter." And I want a puppy.
Peter, that was the 3-minute version. There's probably going to be a 3-hour movie made about this. It sounds like it's a new branch of science. So it's a combination of electrical engineering and maybe robotics?
It does that, but it's actually what so many innovations are now, and it's a combination of other things that have scientific base, but an innovative way of using them in a new combination.
Can you protect what you're building?
We have IP protection, we have patents. We also have governments now who are starting to see the economics of enabling a disabled person to communicate and become independent. It's much more economic to enable a person to be cared for at home when they can communicate and be independent, and, like Professor Hawking, remain highly functioning throughout the course of their disability.
And the cost per patient to empower somebody to use these devices?
Right now, it costs $15,000 US. That is currently being funded by the Australian NDIS, the insurance service, by the Australian Veterans Administration, by the US Veterans Administration, and Medicare is about to come online. New Zealand was an early adopter, and we are finding more and more governments and institutions who see the economics of enabling people with severe disabilities to communicate and become more independent with this technology.
Control Bionics, thank you, Peter from
Thank you
Australia.
very much.